How in the world are you? As always, thank you for allowing me to come into your world for another week. This week, we're going to be talking about what do you do when things don't go your way? Gosh, I have so many scenarios where things have not gone my way. They haven't gone my way in the corporate world. They haven't gone my way as far as, and I only have one child, as to sometimes the things that they do and the things I want to happen. A marriage that didn't end up going my way, and the list goes on and on. Relationships in general with family members. If you're in a romantic relationship, sometimes things don't go your way. But what do you do when things don't go your way? Well, as always, I'm going to confess some of the things that I have done. Angry. I have not thrown a temper tantrum as if I was a child, but I'm sure many folks out there listening to my voice and seeing me right now probably have had temper tantrums. They probably have thrown things up against the wall. They have pounded their fist on the table or something. But anger has come out. But I haven't been to the point where I've had outbursts that nature, but I have been angry. But I guess I would say that it was restrained anger. And then there's been times where I just wanted to change the situation by manipulation. Is that you? Have you been in that mode where you don't like the way things are going, they're not going your way, and maybe you can manipulate your way to turn it into your favor? Or have you simply said, hey, things aren't going my way, and I'm going to pause and learn from it, analyze the situation? So, what is it that you do when things don't go your way? So, there's two opportunities here. I've been in situations where things didn't go my way because they were self induced, and things didn't go my way because they were simply out of my control. But I want to break it down today, as I'm always going to be authentic, and kind of share with you where I've been and where I am now. And hopefully you can identify with where I've been and where I'm going and where I am and where I continue need to grow. And I want you to self reflect on where you are in this process. But when I think of terms of things didn't go my way because they were self induced, so I'm thinking about all of those times that I made decisions to settle. I settled in, getting married, and I didn't want to get married. And as a result, things didn't go my way. And that was a scenario where it took me 29 years to move away from that decision. I've been in situations where I've made quick decisions to remove the stress that I was under, but it caused me long-term consequences, or at least longer term consequences, that I realized it wasn't the best decision. So I've learned to not make decisions under a lot of distress, because we will just try to relieve it quickly, not thinking about the big picture and the long term effects. And sometimes our decisions, when they don't go our way, they're also affecting other people. So I've made decisions in corporate America to change jobs, and I should have stayed where I was, or I was like the new job, but I didn't get my way as far as the autonomy and what I wanted to do. And so therefore it just crippled my style. So learning from when things aren't going our way is the most important thing that we can actually do. Yes, we're going to have take that time to grieve, particularly when I talk about things out of our control. But we can grieve on those self induced things that we do when we make poor decisions and things don't go our way, or things simply aren't going our way because of multiple decisions over time, or things don't go our way because our goal is self centered and we're trying to control other people to do what we want them to do for us. There's all kinds of reasons why things do not go our way. When there are things that aren't going our way and they are out of our control, it's typically, again, we are trying to control. We're trying to control our children, we're trying to control our spouse, we're trying to control what happens on our job, we're trying to um, just manipulate decisions that other people are making, thinking is going to be for our good. And ultimately, those decisions aren't made and they don't go our way. So there's different consequences that happen as a result of things not going our way. We will need to learn from it, pause and learn what could have been done differently if I self induced this not going my way. If I self induced it, why did I? And how can I learn from it? Additionally, when things aren't going our way and it could be out of our control as well as within our control, is we have to grieve through it. So maybe it's caused us personal pain, personal emotional pain, particularly when it comes to failed marriages, when it comes to intimate relationships that aren't going our way. There's a lot of pressure there. We have to walk away from a relationship and we wanted to stay, but we knew it wasn't healthy for us. So grieving does need to take place as well as learning from it. We have to begin to stop and think about what is our purpose and what is the plan for our lives. And so I think that's where I began to settle in, is that once I realized what my purpose was and that I was surrendering over to God, finally, after all these years of trying to do things my way and things weren't falling in place of what I wanted, yeah, it was humbling. But it also got me to believe in God's plan. That's the most important thing that I want you to take away from our chat tonight, is when things aren't going your way, you will need to respond by doing this analysis. Was it self induced? Did I settle? Could I have made a better decision? That's why things didn't go my way. Okay, deal with that, learn from it. Did it not go my way because it wasn't supposed to go my way? It wasn't a part of God's plan for me, even though that I wanted it. Think in that theme as well. Because ultimately, when you're on this bold enough journey, it is all about being authentically you and doing your purpose that God created you to do. So, if God created you for this purpose, the only way that you can fulfill the purpose is through God's plan and how He wants you to live out that purpose. So I've learned when things aren't going my way, regardless, out of my control or self induced, at the end of the day, it wasn't a part of God's plan for me to have it go my way, but it was a part of God's plan for me to grow, for me to recognize that I'm not to lean to my own understanding, but I am to acknowledge God in His direction for my life, for my purpose. So when things are going my way, it is the will of God. And so when you get a chance, read Proverbs 3, 5 and 8. And it talks about leaning not to our own understanding and all of our ways acknowledging him and allowing God to direct our path. So when things aren't going our way and we want to be angry, we want to manipulate, or we even want to try the same thing over again, which is insanity, right? Because we're going to get the same results. That we'll pause, we'll learn, and we'll say, God, I want to resolve myself to your way for my life, your plan that you have for me. So I want you to just stay alert. Stay alert. You want things to go your way. That is the will of God. So don't try to manipulate a situation for your own self purpose. It does you no good to get angry and throw things. It's not going to change the outcome of why things didn't go your way. It will only make it worse. So, in this bold enough journey, I keep sharing surrender, trust God, have faith. And believe me, every single day, something occurs that I wish it would have turned out differently. But I respond differently now. I'm not angry. I'm not disappointed. No matter how hard I'm guiding my life, sometimes thinking that it's all about me, I'm very humbled when things don't go my way because it teaches me to fall back and to rely on God and His will and His plan for my life. So things will be going my way, even though sometimes I don't think they are, because my understanding and my insight is not God's insight because He's the only one that understands the future. So I'm learning, I'm learning, I'm learning, I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm growing, I'm growing. So even today, there was a situation at hand, and I thought that I made the best decisions possible for everything to go my way. It didn't go my way. So I'm going to need a ram in the bush. And guess what? God is faithful, and He will provide that ram in the bush because I have relinquished and I reminded myself and asked for forgiveness. God, I was trying to push and force a formula that I needed to happen, and I did not wait on you, trust you, and have faith in you. If I had, then I would have been able to look at things a little bit differently and not have the stress that I was experiencing. So, even when you surrender, we will keep trying to take things back, keep trying to force things to happen our way. But God will step in and He will save us from ourselves. And things don't always go our way. So every time things do not go our way, there's a reason and there's a purpose. The main thing that we have to understand is nothing happens by accident. It is the will of God to guide us into this life of abundance. And we have to do it God's way. So don't fret when things don't go your way. Just simply fall back, pause, and say to yourself, I want what God has for me. This was not meant to be. But it doesn't relinquish you from making good decisions, stop manipulating, but learn from mistakes that you make. So those self-induced things, don't self-induce. Don't self-induce things that happen to you that cause you heartache and pain. Wait. And when things are out of your control, things don't go well on your job, your children are going through turmoil and you wish they would be obedient, your relationship is not good, the best source that you can do is not rely on yourself as the source to fix it, but go to God and say, God, whatever your plan is, I accept it. So that's where I am, folks. I am accepting God's plan and I only want what He wants me to have going my way. Think about it. Take time, reflect on why are things not going your way? Is it self centered? Is it the best for you? Is it God's plan for your life to fulfill the purpose He has created you to be? So, being bold enough, it is no joke. When God gave me the vision and the purpose to start Bold Enough, I did not understand the impact of those two words, being bold enough. That means you are standing firm in the confidence of God every single day, in every situation, how you respond to the situations when they're not going your way, to being bold enough to stand on what you believe so things go your way. It is not easy. So, being bold enough is supernatural. You have to rely on the Holy Spirit of God for that courage and boldness, and also the protection to move the barriers, to part the Red Sea, to remove your enemies, so that what is for you is for you. No one can take it away from you. So you want to walk in things that are going your way. And if they're not going your way, it wasn't meant to be. Even when you made a bad decision, it wasn't by coincidence. It was still not meant to be. So there you have it. I want you to walk in freedom, continue to walk in this abundant life. Trust God and that He has for your life. Walk in it with confidence. Walk in it in expectancy that things will go your way. And when they don't, it wasn't God's will. Just learn from it, grow from it, restore your faith and trust in God, and move forward in boldness. So that's all I have this week. Thank you for watching. Thank you for chatting with me in the live chat. I will get to as many of you as possible. Play this over and over again. It's there and available to you. And don't forget to share. Have a bold enough week, and I will see you next week.